other ones were similar, yeah. I thought they were
Yeah.
very similar in like difficulty. This.
What's going on, chat? Welcome today. What's going on, T-Bone? We got George Morgan over on the YouTube side. How we doing, boys? Just give us a minute here and we'll get going.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
4,
3,
3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Knights of Teleria. Today is episode number 93. Damn, we're getting close to that 100th episode, and I can't wait. We got a lot of things to talk about today, guys. We got to talk about the new event dungeon. We got to talk about Oil Mixers Arena Season 3, and a big shout out to Mr. Final Campachi over there, who just finished watching the Xbox Live event and is now joining us. So while I'm getting everybody situated here and he's turning his camera on, we're going to discuss a couple of things. We're going to find out how everybody's week is going. And the first thing I got to ask to chat is going to be, how are you loving this new Bastion? Is it like a 10 for 10? Or are you really upset because there's so much red and it's getting your like your red dot filter going on? But while we go through, and I'm waiting to hear some of you guys, what you got to say, let's start out introducing today's podcast. Sorry, guys. Mouth is a little dry here. Spent all day cutting grass. All of my co-hosts for today. So let's start off first with, let's go with Zero Brew, the Dab Master. Actually, he's not even on here. Let's go with Gestel first. Gestel, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing great, man. We were just behind the scenes griping about the new event dungeon. So yeah, that's it's gonna be fun to talk about. Also, Faction Wars has been kind of my main focus. I have not missed a star yet. I need this mythical. Going for it.
Okay. Next up, we've got Mr. Let's go guess. I'm looking at everybody up here, and everybody's in the wrong one. Zero, go ahead and stop sharing your screen, bro. You're good to go.
Oh, okay. All right, hold on.
Let's go to, there we go. Now it's fixed. Let's go to Mr. MXPJE. PJ, what's going on, brother? How are you?
Doing awesome. Just chilling. Watched some UFC last night. Some pretty good fights. Sadly, the person I wanted lost, O'Malley, Sag. But yeah, lots of stuff happened in the raid. And very excited to be here and talking about it with you guys.
Awesome. All right, now let's get the Dab Master himself, Mr. Zero Brew. Zero, what's going on, man?
Yo, I am doing just fine, fantastic, and lovely. And you're 100% right. They made this thing all red, and my OCD is kicking in. The coolest thing they could have done is change the red dot to a green dot. I think that would have been amazing. And yeah, I can't wait for this episode because I'm sure there's going to be some beefs. But my question to chat is, does Plarium even play this game? I'll tell you why later.
I'm gonna confirm that I know at least some of Plarium employees play it because I have the community managers on Discord friended, and I will say it does show when they say playing Raid Shadow Legends. How well they play, that's a different story. All right, next up, let's go check out our boy, Mr. Final Campachi. Ken, what is going on? How are you? How was the Xbox show?
It was kind of a little bit weak. I don't want to give you guys spoiler, but you guys can check this out. But I got a little bit disappointed. But anyway, I'm glad I made it actually. I was waiting a little bit late, but looks like you guys started late, so everything is nice there. I didn't miss the podcast. Yo, you know what happened today? I was touching grass and walking. Somebody's calling me, hello. Like, who the hell are you? Like, he was my fan, bro. I met my fan today in real life.
Hey,
I'm
really?
now. I'm officially famous, guys.
Oh, that's
official.
That's great.
It's
wow.
Nice, man.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, we go drink some coffee, and yeah, that was nice. Awesome.
Nice,
so cool.
Nice. All right. And last but not least, we've got King Copium joining us again. King, what is going on, brother? How are you?
Oh man, dude, I am good. I recently just took the plunge, went full multi-box, and started an emulator, so I'm just running way too many accounts. trying to embrace my inner blazing, if you will. So working on that, getting pissed off at the event dungeon, but we'll get into that when we get into that, and just grinding, bro.
How many accounts are you running right now?
Right now, I am currently running 6, but I will be up to 8 overnights.
Hey,
I think he's trying to compete with me,
Jesus.
guys, because this is kind of what I look
get
at
there.
when I play
We're gonna
raid.
get there.
You
Get some
know?
help.
Oh my god.
That makes
Come
me
on,
sick.
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I'm watching
Notice that
stream.
he's
I'm
doing
playing my
live
main.
arena on all of those though at the same time. That's all live arena. Like,
Come on, it's not that bad. All right. Real quick here, I just want to give a big shout out to Mr. Priest Guardian. I haven't seen him in a while. And welcome back, brother. Glad to have you back with us. Thanks for joining us. All right, so let's talk about the Chaos Awaken events. Let's talk about all of the shenanigans that have been going on with the event dungeon and the arena seasons 3 that's gone live. First of all, I want to talk about, because the event dungeon itself is going to take us a while to discuss. Let's go with the coalition event rewards. We're looking at these.
I volunteer to go first.
Okay, I'm going to let you go first. So what are you thinking? Are they good, bad? I mean, I do like the fact that they're, you know, making sure that the points that we get are all prorated. So once the multiplier kicks in, you're gaining whatever you've already have. So I think that's a good thing. But is it too far-fetched to, you know, think that you're going to hit 20,000 points in 3 weeks left? Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't, you know, I didn't even think about it from the personal perspective. And I'm kind of where you are around the 2000 mark. But yeah, I think, I mean, if you're already technically 10th of the way there. And it's only been 76.223 hours since this coalition event started. And the reason why I say that is I made that up, but it's about close enough because we are exactly 3 more weeks and 2 days left, and we are over almost 60% of the way to the billion goal. So that's my question is, do they even play this game? Because 1 billion is such a low bar to hit. We'll probably hit it by the end of the week next week. And yeah, that part's silly. I think the personal reward, I think, you know what, if you just keep doing your daily stuff, click quest for us, because if you just run your arena tokens and stuff, which looks like you have not been, but I've already completed that thing. Like
I just haven't done it today.
Done it today. Yeah.
This is kill 50 enemies, but I've been doing arena every single day because I'm low on Magisteel.
Oh, they must. You know what? You're right. They changed it. 3 days. Just changed it. Yeah. So yeah, and I didn't see mine, but I had repeated that at least like in the 3 days that this thing was going. I don't know, probably 20 times or something like that. It's kind of ridiculous. So anyway, yeah, I think people will get there. I think we'll get there.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not a big fan about actually having to, you know, do things with the fusion because you got to fully upgrade the skills and stuff like that. And they're giving pretty decent points, but you know, what happens if you miss out on the fusion? Then you're kind of SOL'd on all of these, like awaken. So you have to go for the soul to get the 320 points. So I think that the rewards are good. I think they've been set too high, and some of the quests here, I really don't agree. You know, again, what if you don't have books? What if you don't have books?
Yeah. Well, and I think that with at least the soul, maybe that's a good sign that everybody has a chance to get it versus what they did with us with Ishiyama. So that's probably a good sign. The other thing
we don't
too,
know
and
if the soul, because as far as I know, the soul has not been. We haven't found out.
It hasn't been announced yet. But if everybody has it as a quest, you can't give it to 1 out of 100 people.
You don't know that. You don't know that. I mean, it's possible.
I know I don't know that. I'm just saying.
We expect them to.
Okay, let's just say it this way. If they do a Champ Chase event for the soul, and that's a reward for everyone to get the 5-star soul for them, then they really don't play this game. I don't think they would do that. That's my personal opinion. But
I mean, how many sacreds do you think it's going to take? Or how many soul stones do you think it's going to take? You know? That's the big question.
I will also say, and I don't know if everybody has seen this yet or not, but they did announce that the A1 was triggering on the ally attacks, and so his damage output is going to get nerfed.
Yeah.
So all of us that were, you know, doing the preview saying, "Oh, this dude's a must go get fusion," I still think he's a go get fusion, but just want to throw that out there in case people don't know that.
Right.
Yeah, well, I mean, so they changed his kit because in the entire history of Raid, there hasn't been a champion that gains free attack off of ally. So
Yeah.
a lot of people in the community are crying nerf when it's really just that's never been a thing. And to start that precedent now completely changes the entire scope of the game moving forward. And so you can't see it as a nerf so much as them correcting a champion. Luckily, before he was released, let's not talk about Uragrim right now. And then people go and they do everything they can to go spend and grab this champion for them to say, oops, sorry. So at least they caught it before, too many people went all out for him.
True.
I'm gonna quote Final Compacha here and saying, they would have tried to test it prior to release themselves, but the servers were an issue. That said, King, what do you think about the coalition event, man? Where do you stand on this?
Oh man. So I'm a big fan of these events, especially since I just kind of came back. I'm in the mid game, so any free type.
By the way,
of
they say sorry.
rewards you can
They
get,
say
go ahead.
king volume is low. They say king volume
volumes.
is low.
Okay, I'll turn them up real
Yeah.
quick. Go ahead, King. Continue.
Sorry about that. So I love the free reward aspect of it. I say free loosely though, because you do have to invest quite a bit into this. I do wish that they weren't putting such a huge focus on this champion to gain the larger rewards. I think that, I'm barely tempted to go for this guy personally. So then to have to turn around and dump books and awaken and all of this, like it just kind of seems like a force for a force nuker. And I'm just not really, I'm going for him, but I'm not going to be pushing like that. So I'll get what I can out of it and I'll keep it moving from there.
Okay, sounds cool. Ken, what about you? Being free to play, you think you're gonna get everything?
Yeah, I have a question about this thing. Like, you guys know my mod is awesome, but I just need to ask you guys. So, do we need to complete every single quest to get this final milestone? How is that going to be work?
So I don't think
think
you
so.
need
You
to
can do it with your
complete every
dailies.
single. Yeah, you can do it with your
Yeah.
dailies. So like
Yes, we can do dailies forever, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
multiple time. Okay, we can some grind
except for this one. So repeat quest 5 times a day. You can only do that once. But these
Yeah.
two, you could do as many as you want. Now, granted, there's no freaking Fire Night event going on right now, so I don't know why they
Yeah,
would put this
yeah.
on there. Doesn't make
in
sense.
purpose.
But
Exactly.
yeah.
I mean, exactly. I mean, I think that's okay. I agree with the king. Free stuff is free stuff. Like we are gonna get some stuff there. I'll take it, to be honest. I have like 3,000 points, I believe, right now. Especially this arena missions are super easy. Like just your daily arena, classic arena, takdim arena, live arena, lots of arena. This game have so. I'm okay with it. But bro, my biggest concern is like, it was today, Faction War. I don't know. We are going to talk about hard Faction War, but I did a stage 15. Stage 15. Bannerlord Faction War.
Oh, that was easy.
Try without Taras Marichar. Okay? Jesus Christ. Dude, this is extremely hard. Like, like I did that with like pain. I beat the round 1, round 2. With I don't know, I don't remember the condition right now, but that was annoying. Then round 3, guess what? They have a stone skin. They have a stone skin, bro. Enemy have a stone skin. Because
have
they
stone
place a
skin because-
dwarf unity. I swear to God,
This was easy.
I
I don't know
was
what you're
expecting-
complaining.
Man,
No,
It
it
was
was
e-
stage 15. Yeah,
Oh.
garlic, yeah. Yeah,
it's
garlic,
special.
yeah.
It's so disgusting.
Anyway, dude, look. I spent more than 20 million silver today. 2 hours.
Ooh.
And I didn't upgrade the gear. It just literally like break gear in the champion. And that's stage 15. What the hell
Yeah.
we are going to do on the stage 21? David 315 speed on the stage 21.
For
Oh,
me, it
man,
was
it's getting hard.
Ogren Tribe. I missed the day on that.
Yeah. Oh, tomorrow Ogre Tribe again. Oh, God.
Yeah, I missed the
Dude,
day
to
on that
circle
because of the
back-
provokes. Go ahead.
To circle back real quick, one concern that I have about the coalition event is the top 100 players. I think giving away the best relic in the game to the number 1 is like super crazy, and then also giving 1 4-star basalt is like just
Super
a
cheap.
super smack in the face.
We called
Well,
that before, too. We called that
yeah.
before.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
called that
Um,
before.
It's, I mean, listen, we'll touch up on it later, but if this guy's crypto's putting up 59,000 points, you know what? That's less points that I have to put up. So all more to him, right? He's helping us, or she's helping us, sorry. You know, Panda, same thing, all more to them. They're putting up all these points, less points that we have to put up to try to get our, you know, our towards that top end, or the faster we get to it. Gestel, what about you?
Yeah, I think I should be able to complete it. I don't imagine I'll have much difficulty. Hopefully, just by playing the game. I don't know if I really got to focus these missions or not. But I am going to do the fusion, so I think that's a good chunk of the points and whatever. But I'm certainly not like try-harding it at all. I'll never make the top 100. I'm not even thinking about that. So whatever. Yeah, I think for like everyone said before, give you the free stuff and. It's different, you know, they're trying something different. I'm not upset about it. I think it's fine. Get some stuff along the way.
Chat, what about you guys? Where are you currently standing for points wise? I'm sitting at the 2100. Ken said he's sitting closer to 3. So how active are you guys with this event? Let me know. And then PJ, what about you? What are you thinking about the coalition event?
Yeah, overall, I think it's pretty good. I think I wouldn't tell them to raise the points or anything. Like, I think it's fine that it's on the easier side for the billion, so definitely don't want them to go more. Yeah, I think the bottom rewards are good. I think it's fine that like you don't have to get all of the normal quests because you can just do the repeatable quests like we said earlier, so I think that's fine. I also do feel like it's leaning towards a Titan event, the way that the quest set up, because it's like get a 3-star, get a 5-star. So I feel like it will be a Titan event, which will be good for the community. Those are usually people like those better. And you're gonna want to probably book him. You have 4 weeks to save books if you need to. So yeah, I think everything it looks pretty good.
3 weeks. The event's left for 3 weeks.
Right, and you've known for 4 weeks that you need to book them. You saw the quest early, so you've had total of 4 weeks. And yeah, it looks. I think it's fine. I think everything looks good. It's gonna be probably tough to get to 20,000, but it's definitely doable if you do the repeat quest and you don't miss, or if you miss some of the normal quests.
Yeah, I think during CVC is probably where we're going to see a lot of points go up. To be honest, although the next CVC is not supposed to be a PR if they follow the pattern, but if it is, then yeah, I expect a lot of people. I think that might actually cause a problem for a lot of people that are trying to tank, because usually they save all the resources for CVC, so that could be a problem too. All right, so coalition event. I mean, like I said, I think the rewards are great. I have a problem with the point threshold and some of the quests that they're giving. And again, I'm not going to spend my energy right now in Fire Knight. I'm just saying, Plarium, like, try to at least make it so that it's something, you know, even campaign farming. Like, there's a Dungeon Divers, and not a Dungeon Divers event, there's a Champ Training event. Give it for campaign or something. I don't know, but literally probably one of the worst things they could have done for the event. Although, let me just check. I don't think it's Fire Knight starting tomorrow, right? No, it's not even Fire Knight starting tomorrow. It's Ice Golem that we currently have active. So which one are you going to spend? Ice Golem or Fire Knight? So really, really doesn't make sense. The one thing that kind of went under the radar that they released this week was the oil mixer. Now, for a lot of us, might be good, might be bad, but I want to talk about the conversion ratio here and your feelings about it. So it's costing us 10 lesser oils to get 1 greater oil, 10 greater oil to get 1 superior oil. So it sounds like they just followed what we would get for the potions. And then silver-wise, doesn't seem too bad. 5,000 silver and 20,000 silver. Except when you try to go do something like this, and you're sitting at 58 million silver because you're sitting on 261,000 of the lesser oil. That said, chat, are you... I feel like this was probably one of the bigger things that happened this event, and I think it was Tyraku that did his video opening, like, we got to talk about this, and then kind of went off on it. And I really think like this was actually overlooked on this patch. Like, I didn't even know that this was dropping up until Tyraku's video dropped, and I was like, oh shit, this is actually coming out. So what are your feelings about this? Are you for this? Do you think the conversion ratio is too much? And then the last thing I want to say is, where the hell is my dust? Why can't I convert some dust, right? Let's start off with Ken first. Ken, what are we thinking here? Yay, nay?
Definitely, yeah, man. Like, I mean, I think it's cheaper than the potion mixer, right? If I'm not
It
mistaken.
is, yeah.
It
Just
is.
look,
It's cheaper,
potion
yeah,
mixer is
it's
100,000.
It's a W. Like, special,
Yeah.
like, Vivas keep complaining about the how hard to get this medium oil, right? We have a Lessler, we have a big boys, but no medium. Something wrong with that. And there good. It can really help us. But obviously, we have a bigger problem, like you mentioned just right now. Dust. Man, this dust need a mercy system. I'm telling you. I get like attack burst. Let's say I want a critical damage. I'm getting flat attack, flat defense, flat attack, flat HP, flat attack, flat defense. Yeah, I swear to God, man, we need a mercy system there, bro. Like, it's so
trying
painful. Like, I'm closing my eye before I dust.
21,
Like, it's happening.
21 guys to roll crit damage on these
Ooh.
gloves. 21.
Ooh.
That's over 200. And just to put it in perspective here, I did 1.5 million points in CVC, and 90% of that was in Sand Devils. I was looking close to almost 60,000 energy. I came out of that with about 350 dust. That's how limited this resource is, right? So I definitely we need this. We need this.
And every time we get a better gear, you know, like this glove, for example, you are showing not even like god tier glove, you know, like
Yep.
there is no speed, for example. Yeah, exactly. So whenever you got a better glove, you need to repeat the same process one more time.
Yep.
And it's so annoying, dude.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that definitely need a mercy system, or at least give us the way to, oil mix these, even if it's just the top ones that we got to spend, 1 for 1 or something. I think that would be better. King, what do you think, man?
I mean, I'm all for a way to kind of just boost what you actually want. So I'm cool with that. I like the silver price on it. I mean, silver in general is a thing that I wish we would get a silver mine in the Bastion just for some passive silver income at this point. But I think all the problems with silver in this game would go away if they just gave us free gear permanently. So, but as far as the oil goes, dude, like the oil mixer's W, I do wish that there was a way that we could farm the dust.
And you bring that point up about the silver being a problem. I think this is going to, people already complain about silver being a big problem. And I think this is going to just add on top of that. So you're right in calling for making the free gear removal permanent, because there's so many things that require silver. We have so limited amount of free energy that players are getting, which it is absolutely just crazy.
By the way, Blizzard, can you close the screen? Because people are afraid about you are going to misclick that button, so people are scared, so you are give them a little bit stress.
Like a double confirm.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just
yeah.
Well, look, this was a perfect example. This was a perfect example. I was sitting at 200, almost 220, and I just 60k energy, 60k silver, just gone right there. 60 million silver.
Oh boy.
That's it's gonna become a problem now. Again, for me, I'm okay. I'm gonna just buy more energy. Although with the way the event dungeon's going, I'm probably not gonna buy shit this season. But Goose, what you got for us? You're muted, bro.
Sorry. I just feel like they put all these crazy ass restrictions on every single aspect of this game. And I get it. That's the whole carrot on the stick mentality and grind and keep people playing the game. But like, they've gotten things so restrictive that I want to say, do they want us to play their game? Like, and I had
they want you to
hoarded
spend on it.
Well, I know they want you to spend on it, but like, would you spend on it if they gave you like a dust bastion, a silver bastion, and say, hey, pay us $50, we'll give you a silver bastion, or pay us $50, we'll give you a dust bastion, and it just constantly generates these resources for you?
No,
would you
I think that
go
would
and
be
spend
a
the money for
horrible-
something like that?
I think that would be a horrible idea. To be quite honest, because you're locking it behind a pay to win, which then definitely puts players that are free to play at a huge disadvantage. Now, if it was, you know, maybe through
It's
gems
like
or
that
something
now.
like
Nobody, if you're a free to play player, you don't have where you can farm 1,500 dust or whatever. You don't have 100,000 energy to run to go farm that. So.
That's true, but you can acquire it over time. But if you're talking about strictly locking it behind a monetization, behind
No,
like
no, no, no,
you
no.
can
I'm
only
saying
buy
keep it as it is, and then add a dust pay to win bastion for the people that want to get more dust.
Again, I don't think that would be beneficial, right? Because while you may say yes, it makes it easier, or it gives us some sort of way to be able to acquire the silver or acquire the dust. It starts opening a whole big issue. I mean, remember the first time they did the sale for Xena, right? Community went flipped because it locked out a big space or a big portion of the community that is free to play or low spend that could not afford to buy that. So I think if they did it maybe with gems, that might be a better idea.
What they need to do is a complete overhaul on the daily login rewards. Straight up, they have power crept so much stuff into this game that I don't care about 10 rare charms. I don't care about a 6-star piece of accessory. Like, give me 5 dust one day a month. I'm gonna shut up. Like, I'll be happy with that.
Well, they did. They've already reworked them because they took away our 1 sacred shard and our 5-star chicken. So
no, give me my sacred back, okay? Like, I want that back for as long as we're talking about it.
Just real quick, this was, I want to say 5 million CVC points is what went into getting 1,500 dust, and that was done by George Morgan. I have no idea how much energy he spent, but it was a stupid amount of energy. It was literally, he was DMing me screenshots. His account was just literally in Sand Devils all day. That's it. It is crazy. And you know what? It's probably going to upgrade him 4 or 5 pieces if he's got my sort of RNG at like 20 pieces. I hope it doesn't. I really hope it doesn't. But Zero, did you have anything else you want to touch up on?
I was just going to say, you know, I get the argument for the free to play stuff, and I'm sure Ken can have a completely different perspective on that. I think the one thing that would be said about that is, at the end of the day, it's free to play for all the free to play players because you have people that are welling out in the game. So why not let them well out easier? It is my argument. Because again, if someone's going to buy 100,000 energy with real world money and farm 1,500, you know, put up 5 million CVC points, you know, their wallet's going to allow them to do that regardless, right? So you're not going to be able to stop that. That's true.
But again, I think like just purely putting, you can only get this. That might only. I'm not disagreeing that they shouldn't do it. I'm saying,
but yeah, keep the free to play option out there. I'm not saying take away the ability to get it.
What I'm saying is I'm okay with them adding a silver mine and the dust mine. I just don't want them to say the only way you can purchase this is by spending $50 to buy this. If they want to do it through the energy like they do with the gem mine, like where you have to, you know, buy so many levels of the gems, that's fine. If they want to do it like the Guardian ring where you got to buy so much with gems, that's perfectly fine too. What I'm saying
so what
is,
if they put it in for 50,000 gems?
That's fine. They could do that.
Okay.
I mean, that's going to be...
use gems to unlock the gem mine. You should use silver to unlock the silver mine and progress it. And then you should have to invest like dust in order to, you know,
to unlock
whatever, progress the amount of dust drop. Yeah.
And I like that. And I think that would be a fair thing for them to do. PJ, what are we thinking about the conversion ratios, silver cost?
I think overall it's a W. I mean, we've talked about this a bunch in the past. Silver in this game is a big issue. I mean, I've been saying for months and months and months that I think this game is at the point where we need free gear removal permanently. But overall, I think it's a W. This isn't supposed to be like the mechanic to come in and do all of your dust to convert it. Like, it's supposed to be like to kind of top off, or like if you run low or something, like I can convert some oils real quick to finish if I don't want to do like Sand Devil or I don't want to do Shogun. Like, I don't think they're really expecting you to go in there and do all like that much. If like, no, like all the max. Like, if you want to, like, sure you can, but like, you can also like run Sand Devil for more. So I don't know. I think it's overall a W versus the potion keeps. It's like 100,000 or 200,000. Yeah, 100,000 to mix the medium to the big. Granted, you're not going to be doing it as much, but yeah, I think overall it's a W.
Yeah. Okay. Gessel, what about you?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's obviously they told us they're gonna do it. I'm glad it's in. I was like you, unaware that it was in this patch. They did not really make any noise about it. So I'm glad it's here finally. I have to say, there's been a time where I've tried to mix a whole bunch of potions and it turned out to be like 20 million silver, and I'm typically silver broke. And I wasn't able to do it, so I guess it's not super shocking that it's a similar cost. If it's a little cheaper, I guess that's better. But I'm on board with the dust too. I'm always dust broke. Like as soon as I get it, I use it. So a way to get some dust would be great.
Right.
I think like cracking the big one down to dust. Like I think that's fair. Now those big guys are tough to get.
Yeah, I mean, I think a 1-to-1 conversion ratio, or even maybe a 2-to-1, I think that would be fair, especially because like Ken was saying, there is no mercy system with this. So we could sit there for 21, and 21 oils by the end of it is almost 180.
What if they made it 10-to-1 like everything else is? So 10 big oils for one dust.
I think that's too much. 10 big oils.
That's the player way.
Because you're talking.
If 1 to 2 is fair, then we're getting 1 to 10.
Well, because I mean, if you think about it, if it's 10, right, you're talking 1,000 of the small ones converted into the mediums, converted into the bigger oils to get 1 dust. Just the silver wise, just to get that is going to be ridiculous, right? We're going to talk, 600-700. How much is it going to cost me to do 1,000? Let's see. So if I just did,
but and while you're talking about that, I will throw this out there because you can't get the dust unless you're able to farm the top level. So if you add the dust to the conversion here, you open this up to people who have younger accounts that aren't able to do.
True, that's a factor.
So okay, so it cost me 700 silver just to convert those 10 to get 10 more of the superior oil. So. And then you got a conversion rate on that one. I don't think 10 would be good. I think it's too much. Big shout out to Mr. Priest Guardian here. Thank you for the support and for the super chat, brother. Much, much love. Thank you again. So I think this one went just underneath the radar because everybody was talking about the event dungeon. But I want to say I think probably out of this patch, this is probably the one good thing that came out. So
question, how much silver would you like it to be if it's too much right now?
I think a lot. Honestly, no more than 1,000. I mean, let's take a look at what you would get from crafting gear, right? Crafting gear, you spend 10,000, and let's say you were just to craft a single piece. I could sell that for 35. So I'd probably say, as a conversion ratio, I should be able to craft at least 100 or maybe 10 for every one of these that I sell, right? Because again, the silver issue is real for a majority of the player base. So I think if we're talking, it shouldn't cost me more than what I would make from selling all of this. So I think 500. Honestly, I would support getting rid of the conversion silver over getting rid of the gear removal. If I really had a choice, I think that would probably be better.
What?
I know it's not an unpopular thing, but the thing is, okay, so
how often are you using the conversion?
I mean, I will be using it quite a bit because I have a lot of gear to ascend. And the one reason I didn't really ascend a lot of my gear is because I didn't have enough of the big oils. I mean, you saw, I just did the conversion right now. I was sitting at 226,000 on the big one. And I just spent 60 million silver. And
you didn't need to do that.
Right. But what I'm saying is now I have enough to where, I can convert this. but I'll drop down to 100 million silver. And honestly, Spider is the only reason, like there's no other way other than Spider to farm yourself some gear, to farm yourself some silver. Nothing else is going to give you the same amount of silver that you do getting from Spider. And so I feel like it's still, if we remove the element from 100%, not that I don't agree with it, and this is kind of where, I'm flip-flopping back and forth. I think maybe we should reduce the amount of silver that it costs to do a gear removal. But I feel like if I had to pick and choose one or the other, I would remove the conversion ratio for that stuff. Just like I would say, using potions like this right here, using the potions in here, I don't think we should be paying to, put brews in them. I think that's
super niche. You're talking super niche compared to something that would help everyone.
Maybe, but let's see what does chat say. Chat, would you guys agree if they were to leave the silver cost for removing the gear and then just take the silver cost for, upgrading champions? I mean, if we take a quick peek here, let's see what it's going to cost for a level 5. If we were just to pull full out, you're talking 364,000 silver. Would you be in support of removing these types of smaller, which I feel like we use a lot more? Because how many champion re-gears do you guys actually do? Let's think about that. How many champion gears are you pulling, other than faction? Really?
Yeah.
I mean, being in the mid game, like I am stepping in and having to change my team comps like constantly, especially when like I pulled Thor recently and he just completely changed up everything for me. And I had to go in and swap out this. Like I had to pull Vogoth out of the vault for the event dungeon. It's just, if I just felt like I could just make pre-made gear sets to swap around and not have to worry about, I mean, how much does it cost to fully re-gear a champion who's got full equipped?
Like $1 million plus.
1,200 silver.
It's
1,200 silver if you're talking from, removing all 6 pieces of one gear from this champion to the other one.
Chat's got my back.
I just think I think with hard faction wars and everything like that too, like it just is more beneficial in the long run to take away gear removal cost than it is to take away like champion training costs for using brews and stuff like that.
I think though, again, the reason why I'm saying this is though, maybe I just don't re-gear champions enough, so I don't see that. Again, pay to win. I farmed enough gear where it's not like on a weekly basis. I build a champion, I leave it that way. And then the only time I really start moving things around is, for faction wars. Yes, I have been using, probably like 1 million or 2 million silver, moving my best gear around on the champs that I need. I got my presets and stuff, but I don't feel like I move gear enough, right? I've got my presets on here. If I was to put it on somebody, it cost me 1 million silver and that's it.
I'm telling you, you're in the minority there then.
I guess so. I'm reading chat. I mean, I see some people say, I don't move my gear around. I build my champions and I leave it as it is, which is basically what I do. And some people are saying, no, I will take the free gear removal. But again,
If it completes the content, it completes the content. I fully respect that.
I think you're spending more silver here. If you're ranking up a champion, you're spending 10,000 here. But I think you're spending more time here and more time in those other spots with the dust. And you don't really see that cost, right? You're thinking because you see a cost every time you move gear on a champion, that's why you want it. But chat, do you guys think we should have a little more of a discussion on this? I don't want to spend too much time on it because we have definitely something we need to talk about the dungeon. But sorry, PJ, did you have anything, any other final thoughts on that matter?
No.
All right. Sorry, we went on a little longer rant on that.
So, yeah.
We spiraled.
But yeah, we can definitely roll back and touch up on this because I do think you're right. There is a way to talk about both of them, and so I urge everybody in the community out there, get with these guys, give your perspective, put it in Discord, and we'll definitely be coming back to talk about it because it seems like something everybody is interested in. All right, let's talk about the big thing this patch brought in, which was the event dungeon. Now, man, oh man, I've only got up to stage 29, and to be quite honest, from what I've seen, they overpower this so much where I'm honestly happy because that means I don't have to spend for the next 3 months buying these shitty energy packs or spending my gems in it, right? Don't get me wrong, pinpoint gear is great, but I'm not going to sit here for a 2-minute run or a 1.5-minute run where I could be spending it in Fire Knight or spending my energy somewhere else that I'm going to get more silver back, because again, the only thing that I want to farm from here is pinpoint and none of these other shitty sets. That said, Ken, what have you been coming up with for the event dungeon?
They made it very hard, man. Like very hard. Like only like 10% of the player can farm on the stage 30. And I'm not like overreaction that's I cannot farm stage 30. Like I was farming like 10-second event dungeon season 1. Similar event dungeon season 2. Now I cannot farm stage 30 at the moment. Look, at the moment, maybe somebody going to figure out a comp achievable for most of the player. But currently I'm farming on the stage 29. It's like 2-3 minute team with the Loki. I built a Loki for this content and working. Again, a little bit longer, but working. It's not the first time Plarium is doing that. Like they are looking the previous dungeon, and always when the next time they are releasing a content, they need to make sure if the people been using in a max HP champion, for example, in a max HP, they are making the new content weaker. But this time, they did it a lot, man. Like they didn't weaker that. They just killed it, literally. Like HP burn in a max HP pretty much useless on this content. Yeah, and we still don't have a faction. My bad. Live arena bonuses for the live arena. Event dungeon. We still don't have that, and for the Chimera as well. Like, why we waiting for? I have a loss of the point. Let me spend them.
Honestly, I feel like for the event dungeon, it should just be strictly under dungeons. Whatever we have for dungeons, it should be for that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I agree. Like I said, it's not for the lack of. Well, I guess it is a little bit for the lack of trying, but I was just kind of like, you know what, my G nuts are nerfed hard. Everything was like, you know what, I'm fine. I'll sit out this and I'll just play Wait Shadow Legends for the next big event, right? Chat, how far up have you guys started farming? Are you sitting at stage 25, 20, 30? I've seen a couple of videos out there with people, 30-second teams, 1.5-minute teams. I saw the one that Scratch did, which was like, yeah, I'm going to use this Siegfried one with, I think it was the Death Dealer one. He's like, yeah, this is how I'm going to get it done. I'm like, holy
That was Tyraku, isn't it?
I think Tyraku and both Scratch did it. And I was just like, yeah, I'm not, if this is how bad it needs to be done, I'm fine. I'll sit back and I'll watch it. King, what are we thinking, man?
So the 2 accounts that I have that are really trying to push this content, I've been able to push up to 22 completed. Farming 20 right now. The only problem is my runs are just extremely long, dude. For the survivability that it's taking for me to get through it, I'm having to kill the ads to get her into her second form, and then it's just having the revivers and the damage mitigation to keep reviving people to get through it. So I really wish that I really liked the idea coming into it of having like a 2-phase fight finally, you know what I mean? With her being a mythical champion. I thought that was really cool. Like they gave it to us. It'd be cool to get into a dungeon where that was something we had to work around. The only problem for me is, and we were talking about this a little bit kind of in the green room, but the fact that you cannot resist her strip when she goes to form 2, and then she just proceeds to nuke your whole team.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just completely takes the fun out of it, because to a certain degree in this game, we find comps that work, and then everybody tries to emulate that to the best of their ability. Okay, that you need an HP burn for this. I'll use my best burner. I'll get it done. But they took away HP burn. They take away enemy max HP. Poisons. I mean, I don't know. I haven't tried that personally, but it just feels like, man, let me do this shit faster than like 3-minute runs, please. Like 4-minute runs. I just want to get it done. I bought a ton of energy, and I am kicking myself for it because now I feel obligated to do it.
And
You can still use the energy in other areas. Don't feel bad. You don't have to do it.
That's true, but you prepare for it because the event dungeon only comes once every 3 months, and you're just like, all right, I'm gonna blow everything I got into it.
So this is my first time having an ability to get pinpoint gear, and I feel fucking robbed.
That's perfectly fair. That's perfectly fair. I'm reading chat here, and I forget where it was. Let me take a quick peek. 20k energy for 2 pinpoints. Pieces of gear that I'm going to keep is the way, and I think that's perfectly on par. But the bigger question is going to be, how long does it take you to farm that 20k energy into that pinpoint? Because if 90% of the time that you're spending in the game is going to be farming stage 20, which, to be quite honest, I think for the events, because they will put out pinpoint events for, tournaments and stuff. I think this is going to be the place where everybody's going to go farm. It's not going to be stage 30. It's really not. Zero, I know you have a few things to say, my brother. What you got?
Yeah, I mean, again, this just goes back to do they even play their silly game? Because, like, I get it, right? You're trying to come. Okay. Let's give them credit. They have constantly thrown new content at us, right? Like, I'm all for 90% of what they've done with this patch, the champions, the hype around it, putting resources behind the videos and stuff. It's really cool for all of us, especially all of us that, do the content and stream and all that stuff too, right? But at the end of the day, it's not a fun experience if 1% of the community can do this, because I can tell you who is consistently 100% doing stage 30 right now, or is any of us 100% doing stage 30? Who is?
Scratch.
I am.
Stage 30.
So
Yeah.
What team
100%.
are you using? Can you share?
Gallius.
Okay.
I can share. Yeah, I'm using Seer it's Lydia Seer to kill the waves. And then I'm using Gallius. And then
Kevin kick him.
Marius and Geo.
Well, this man.
I mean,
Geo.
Ted, now
Okay.
you have a reason to build, right? Now you've got a reason to build them.
That's funny. Okay, so I mean, that just shows you, right? So Kings, you got Kenpachi, free to $14.99 play. You've got King Copium here, who has y'all like how I'm directing my hands with the camera and where y'all are on the screen. And he's coming back to it. He's medium, but he's got his struggles, right? And then so Gestel, me, and Blazin, we're all super pay to win at some point in our account age. We've dumped a ton of money in this, and we can't even do it yet, right? So I think that's where I go back to, like, yeah, I get it. You don't want to make it easy content, and I guess you're learning from the first 2 times you did this for how you're taking these champs and stuff out. But then it's like, they give them the 6-star blessing, they change the blessing to make it more impactful, and this champion is super OP, and then they throw a faction unity champion in there that can block revive. It's like they came up with this ultra meta, like, killing comp. And I guess one side of the argument is, hey, we want a challenge, we want to do this, and it's only been 3 or 4 days, and I'm sure give it another week and everybody's gonna be doing this in 5 seconds probably, or that's at least what they're trying to stop doing. But it's not fun. Personally, it's not fun.
I'm when
I
you
don't mind
say
the challenge. I just want it to be possible for everyone. But I don't.
Right, it's
want
not
it to be
possible, so it's
5
not
seconds
fun.
In. Yeah, it's like 5 seconds in. Everybody's on 30, and let's just do it for months. Like, that's not fun either. But Volcanos, man, he's a problem everywhere.
I
Just 'cause I
mean,
don't have him.
this is a pretty stupid OP team here, and I think the last time I tried it, I just ran it on auto, was going for like 29 minutes. And it just feels like, especially like Wither was withstanding. I was like, how the hell is Wither withstanding my Taras? I'm like, but you know, PJ, I guess you have a different thought on this, that it's not as bad.
No, I still think it's ridiculous. I think it's way overtuned.
My Taras just did his A2 on Volcanos and he didn't take any damage. I thought he just used his A3. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good. No, you're gonna say what?
No, it just feels like I'm hitting like a wet noodle here.
Yeah, no, I think this is way overtuned. The thing is like I've seen the teams with Bronco. He has some cool Geomancer teams with Epics. You need really good blessings on them. I think that's one thing that he might not mention. The other thing is the obviously the relics. I tried. He
15.
just needed new.
15 plus 15.
Yeah, he made a new team earlier today.
My fellow clanmate here.
No, it's a good team. Like if you can do that, it's amazing. But like he made a new team earlier today that's a little bit different. But the one that he made a few days ago, I tried to replicate, and I couldn't. He also has Blood Shield with like a 5-star, 6-star blessing, so he's getting a lot of healing from that. It's really tough. The biggest thing I think on the 30 is the blessing. She hits for like 20,000 per like skeleton hit. It's really tough to live that. If you have a Gallius, he can do pretty well. You don't really even need to give him regen. You can, depending on like how the blessing is, what kind of blessing you have, but he just needs to be like really thick HP defense. It doesn't even have to be fast. I tried a slow one and the time was slower, and then I tried a faster one and it was sped up a little bit. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous that you either have to one-shot it or do like a solo strategy. I've seen a few other strats. I've seen like an ally attack strat. Char's has a really cool one, but he also has like 6-star blessings on his Marius, and he's using Quintus. So if you don't have 6-star blessing, I don't think you're gonna do enough damage. So it's either you have like the blessings or it's really tough. Yeah, I think they overtuned it a lot, and yeah, I think they're gonna lose a lot of money. We kind of mentioned this earlier, but I think a lot of people aren't gonna farm it nearly as hard as they were going to before. And yeah, kind of an L on that end.
Okay. I mean, you can see here, I've done 3 minutes into it. We've done no damage, right? It's crazy busted.
Yeah. The other thing, sorry. One thing that I found that like tried to speed up a little bit that I mentioned this off stream, but so I'm using Gallius to solo it. Geo is there pretty much just to get like the initial like burst damage as he hits, and I put him in Swift Parry to try to get him to stay alive a little bit longer to just get more initial damage off. So I thought that was kind of a little cool tech. If you are doing like the Gallies, you can try to do a little bit more. Marius is there honestly just to clean up in case they survive. He doesn't really even hit. Because I was running Geo earlier he hits the boss to get a little bit more boss damage, but sometimes either the Volcanos or Wither will stay alive, and then the run would just take like forever because they couldn't kill them. So I added in the Marius to make it a little bit safer. But the fact that I have to like solo it with Gallius versus the other two teams, the first two event dungeons, I use almost the exact same team for both. I think I swapped like one different champion. I think it's crazy hard.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Super Gotcha's comment here. Plarium reminds me of back in the day when you used to play Dungeons and Dragons, and the Dungeon Dragon Master made it impossible for the players to have fun. I think that perfectly sums up this event dungeon. Gestel, what about yourself?
Can I just say, I'm sorry, let me just cut in real fast because I've bitched about this before in the past. It'll take 30 seconds. The other thing too is I get it's an event dungeon, you're trying to make it hard, whatever, but again, they aren't giving us the bonuses out of the area bonuses from the clan hall for this too. So it's like, hey, not only are you making it super hard and you need like 650 accuracy and 500% crit damage, but all these champions that we have built that can handle all the other content in the game don't get those extra bonuses, the extra speed, the extra accuracy, the extra ignore defense, and the extra crit damage They don't get that for this specific event, which is kind of crappy too.
She just healed him for 227k. That's absolutely insane. Okay. Gessel, what about yourself?
Yeah, this is a very frustrating fight. This boss is oh my god, it's mind-numbing. The swap, take everything you got, fear you, take a ton of damage, extra turn, like this it's brutal. I don't really know a good way to go around it. You know, we were kind of talking about all this earlier, or complaining about it earlier. You can't guarantee, even with 9 piece, you can't guarantee all your buffs are going to be protected, right?
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. The man eaters. That's a good strap, but just too
Yeah,
inconsistent.
yeah, if she takes it, what do you do then, man? She's got unkillable. You ain't even doing anything. I like Odin here a ton for the first wave because you're getting the stun, the strip, and you can take someone out with his A3 pretty quick. But then he swaps over, and you constantly got uncovered block damage up, and you're swapping it over, and then you're like, all right, great. And she's just swinging away, you know, and it's very frustrating. I've been I probably did about 1,000 energy at 20 energy runs like each time on 30 last night. I had maybe 2 or 3 comps that are kind of working maybe 50% of the times. Like, nothing consistent. You can't really, like, I feel like you can't rely on anything. She's just going to steal all your buffs. How are you going to swap without any buffs? Like, you're not going to survive it, man. She does way too much damage. What do you do? I don't know. Still coming up with stuff. Still trying. Like, I feel like there's got it. Like, did they test this? They're like, we got something. We got something. You guys just aren't thinking about it, right? You're not thinking. We got something. We know there's something that works. You guys are just not doing it. Is that out there? I don't know. I feel like there's so many big brains in this community. Like, I'm sure everyone's kind of tested everything.
The issue is there are teams, but you need the blessings.
Well, no, okay. I'm not saying there aren't teams. There's some stuff. I'm saying, like, dude, I'm trying, like, man, I have a full roster of tons of different champs. I don't have them all, but I have a ton of different champs. And I can't find one thing that's going to 100% this. Like, I got to go with Geo, Vogoth, Insane, like, 6-star Blessing.
Well, I mean,
15, like, it just, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like there should be a couple options out here, and it just isn't feeling like it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, because there's another team.
How can I not run through? Like, how can I not find something?
Yeah, I agree. It's crazy. There's a team right here. It's Padraig, Lydia, Marius, Cardiel, Quintus. It does in 18 seconds. But again, like the Quintus, Marius are 6-star blessed. Like, I don't think if they're not 6-star blessed, I don't think you're doing enough damage. You can maybe try a Phoenix with like 6-star blessing, but yeah, it's ridiculously hard. You're muted, Blazin.
Sorry, my wife was vacuuming, so I muted myself so you guys wouldn't hear it. So I'm looking at chat here, and they're talking about the video that Ash did where it has the monkey in Chuzen, where I think the monkey's got
that's not realistic.
500 crit damage, and I mean
with Ashnar in it and all that too.
Yeah, so you're getting the damage boost from there, but it's definitely way overtuned. But I want to throw this to you guys because I feel like Plarium did this intentionally because we complain, and we always complain. I mean, I've always said that I'm just going to triple G-nut everything and it's going to be nice and easy. Right? So maybe it's my fault that this event dungeon is so hard. You guys can feel free to throw the lash back at me. But I feel
I didn't need your permission. No, I'm just joking.
But
Can I
I
say
feel
something
like
real quick about the
go
event dungeon
ahead.
too, really quickly? So, by the way, they also mentioned like, when they released the fusion champion with the CCs, they saying like, hey guys, you guys can use this champion or this content stuff like that. They give us a little bit text document as well with the champion skill kit. They said this fusion champion can help you on the event dungeon. How the hell this fusion champion going to help us on the event dungeon? Can somebody please tell us?
He's
Like-
gonna help you for that last week that you can use him.
It's
I
because
mean,
if you're
no,
a hit
first
and
of
the
all-
ally attack
I know how
that
he's gonna
was
help
needed-
us
He's gonna solo
I-
it because he can't be crit.
I
gonna
don't know
help-
how it's going to help us.
because we need because they put the quest in for using him in Sage 30 for the coalition. So that's how he's gonna help us. He's gonna help us complete
Oh.
that quest.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. But let me pose it to you guys this way. Now, again, I'm always one that complains like it's literally just G-Nut. And I would like to see something a little more difficult. I think I'm gonna say that this is very challenging, but I think it's too challenging because it really limits to one or two teams. It's not like with the HP burns or the poisons or anything like that. You could do better. That said, do you guys feel like Plarium did this on purpose because we complain that it is too easy to do some of this stuff and that we need it to be a little more challenging? Ken?
Who the hell is complaining about something is easy, man?
I
Like,
did.
what the hell? What? What's wrong with you? Do fetch more hard, bro. Without Taras Maricha. Oh my god.
I mean,
I didn't complain before. No.
I think the faction wars is a whole different story. It just feels like Cintranos 2.0 just try to get provokes and shit out, but yeah, that's the
No,
only
no,
stuff that
I
pisses
don't
me
think-
off.
I don't think it's a complaint. It's just power creep, man. Like, that's all. Like, MTG
Okay.
Polarium. Yeah. New
Okay.
Polarium.
King, what about you? Do you think they did it on purpose because we complained too much about it not being it being too easy? King's just looking at me like, what?
I mean, sorry, my kid's here. I think that you guys ruined a really good thing for everybody, and
It's all my fault.
You guys,
No,
wait.
It's all my
Alright,
fault.
You know what? I'm looking at all of you guys.
Blazing.
No, I think that honestly, they are permanently pushing to hit that wall, to hit the ceiling on us of when are we going to take it? When are we going to break it? And I don't know, dude, maybe this is a catalyst thing, tinfoil hat and gauge, but you know, you give us this champion, you build an entire event around needing to do everything for this champion. You give him 2 times multipliers on all his abilities, and then you make the event dungeon impossible with like S tier champions, and then you want us to go in there and do it with like I'll give him an A, okay? Like, I don't want to hear it. Like, we go in there with this champion and he's supposed to be the make it or break it. I just think that Plarium definitely made this and designed this because the whales are whaling and they want something to use their champions on, but unfortunately the way Plarium did it, you have to use a 6-star Geo. Like, it's super unfortunate that they tuned it this way. And Plarium's also so stubborn that they rarely admit when they're wrong. So there's little chance that we have of them just baby nerfing it just to make it a little bit more accessible. That's just my 2 cents on it.
I'm gonna agree with you here. Plarium, we'll put it in this analogy. The player base is the female that is willing to admit when they're wrong and will fix something. Plarium is the male that is always stubborn and said, no, I'm always right, but doesn't really know when to back off. I think that's a pretty good analogy in a relationship right there. PJ, what about you? Do you think they went too far on purpose?
I don't think necessarily on purpose. I think Ken brought up a great point earlier. When they make new content, they look at old content and they see how we beat it, and then they try to make the new content different so we can't use the same strategies. I think it was kind of saying like that idea where they saw how we were beating before. They're okay, let's try to do something different. And then they just made it really, really, really hard and probably didn't test it that well, or like, they'll be fine. So yeah, I don't think it's like they made it harder on purpose, but I don't think they made it intentionally this hard on purpose, if that makes sense.
I wonder if I can use 3 geos in there with 2 mx.
I was
Could that
thinking double
possibly
geo, but I
work?
think their passives don't work like that because they like overlap the burn, so only one would get it, I think.
I
That's
was
a
thinking
horrible
about
tinfoil hat. You need a
I
better
was-
hat. Make a better hat.
I was thinking about running my double mx. I'm like, maybe in a protection set with an Electrion, because that might actually work. Who knows? Gessel, what about you?
Yeah, this what were we talking about again?
Do you think that
always do
they
something more.
intentionally?
Oh
do
yeah,
you
make
think
it hard. Yeah, you guys always run off on something else before you ask me.
That's true.
It's because you're the old man, so we got to come to you last to see if
I
you
know, man.
Finally
remember.
figured it
I'm
out.
trying to like think of what I'm gonna say, and then you start off on something else, man. I'm like squirrel. But yeah, I'm kind of in PJ's camp. I mean, this is a mythical champ, right? So like, just picture this being Siegfried. Picture this being nice. Like all, yeah, exactly. Picture all of those. It would be the same agony. Mythical champs are, especially the ones that will like swap and do something like because everybody else is dead, or like one of those type of passive things. Those are some of the strongest mythicals, and that's what we have here, right? So it's making it very difficult. I would say Amius is, I guess, somewhat similar in that fashion, but like Amius is controllable. Like you can pick and choose kind of when you're buffing and debuffing to make sure that like you're not going to get slammed. You can't do that here. You don't have that
Right.
option. It's just
And they have anti ads.
well, yeah, and there's ad, right? So it makes it even harder, right? And the ads have the the stupid demon boss or the Volcanos. So it's I think they probably were like probably more in line with PJ said, like, yeah, this might be tough, but they'll figure it out. They'll be all right. Not realizing like yeah, this is actually really brutal, especially when we make it level, whatever the heck level the boss is at, 350.
And 30 is a different like getting to like 30 is a completely different beast than 29 too. The passive is insane.
Yeah. I was just thinking here, a lot of people were talking in chat about the Shuzen and the Sun Wukong build, which I know again requires some crazy stuff, but maybe in replace of Shuzen, you could use Lamasu, right? Because she does give a little bit of a turn meter boost. So
you're losing the crit rate, I think.
Yeah, so you're gonna build 100% crit rate, maybe 210 speed, 200 speed. But I think you could use that as a replacement. The only problem is, for some damn reason, Lamasu just picks and chooses whenever the hell she feels like it on whoever the hell she feels like to use her A3 on.
That's
right?
on turn meter.
But it does also fills the target's turn meter by 50%. So I think that could come in. Again, the only thing is her AI is just wonky. So maybe
the
we'll
other
give that
issue
a
is
test.
it's not just that. You also need the other champions to buff them up. You need like Feral or Gerbtok or Bad Al. You need people with bonuses to. I'm not saying you don't have them, but I'm saying the general population.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is just for, because chances are you probably, if you've been playing long enough, have one of those boosted champions.
But you need all of them.
You need
not one.
all
You need
of them?
like multiple. Not all of them, but you need multiple. You need like Ashnar and that, or you need like two or at least two. I'm pretty sure.
Really? Yeah, but I think again, I think it's been overtuned. Go ahead.
It's pain. That's all.
I think it's been overtuned, and it's not like they made it susceptible to one particular thing. Like even if it was just bombs or something, I think they need to kind of go back sooner rather than later, especially if they're looking for us to spend our 20, 30, 50,000 energy, or even open up our wallets to kind of scale it back a little bit, right? It's great if the content is challenging, but not limited content that is only going to be here for 6, 7, 8 weeks If that's too challenging, I don't want to interact with that. I want to interact with the challenging content that is going to be coming like Chimera, where it's in the game, long term, and I can work towards building something better. Not something for a team that I'm going to be using right here, right now for the next 6 to 8 weeks and then not be able to farm it, right? I don't think anybody would disagree with that.
No, dude. So if they made like Minotaur a mythical and finally upgraded Scroll Dungeon and gave us something to do in there like this, that'd be crazy and awesome.
Yeah.
But like on an event dungeon, like get out of here, man. Like
so with that said, my warning or my message to Plarium, I guess, is scale it back just a little bit sooner rather than later, especially because I, for one, my wallet's shut down. I'm not buying any energy. There's no reason for me to even look at buying half of these horrible energy packs because I'm just not going to have a good solid team that can do it at 100% and do it in a reasonable time. I'm just refusing to spend 2 minutes in a run. That said, we're going to be getting a free legendary champion after the coalition event is done, but before the whole chaos event is done. And I'm not going to lie, I have yet to look at the skill kit of this champion. So I will be reacting to this live right now. I kind of wanted to do that on purpose. So have you guys taken a look at the skill kit? I know it was leaked, and I think it was first initially leaked on Final Compatchy stream, if I'm not mistaken.
Leak Patchy, baby!
Well, I thought they released it in purpose. Like I wasn't know that. They leak it accidentally, and I already show on the stream, so it's gone. It's late. And I got a DM from somebody. They told me like, "Hey, bro, can you remove that?" Like, I'm like, "How can I remove that? I already leaked it on."
Let me just go back in time
It
real
was
quick.
live.
Yeah.
Time travel.
That's it. Let's break down the skill kit. Let's take a look at how good this free legendary champion is going to be, and will it compare to the Sung Wukongs and UDKs of the Raid Shadow Legends world. All right, so we are getting Leminis, the Golden Wing, Force Champion, attack type Sylvan Watchers. So the A1 attacks one enemy 2 times. If the target is under a shield buff, each hit will deal 25 has a 25% chance of decreasing the value of the shield by 10%. Also will ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. If the target is not under a shield buff, each hit will ignore 10% of the target's defense. We're getting 2 books into it. Looks like we're going to be booking up to 50%. Not a big fan of the if, ands, or buts. Either do something or don't do something. I don't care if you want to put the Corrupted Alliance in there. The A1, yeah, not something crazy. The A2 attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 100% chance of removing 2 random buffs from the target. Also will ignore 50% of the target's resistance. If the target is from the Corrupted Alliance, this skill deals more damage equal to the target's current turn meter, stacks up to 100%, books down to I believe 3 turn cooldown with 2 books into damage. Again, this reminds me of the Relic, where depending on how much you have for either turn meter, you're going to take or reduce damage. The A3 attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing a 100% heal reduction for 2 turns. The second hit has a 50% chance of placing a block buffs, which would be useful for this dungeon, for 2 turns. Will also ignore 50% of the target's resistance if the target is from the Corrupted Alliance. What the hell is going on with the whole 50% ignore resistance? We're going to book that down to a 3 turn cooldown with 2 books to make it 100% and 1 book in damage. And then the passive receives 15% less damage from enemies under heal reduction debuffs, fills the champion's turn meter by 5% whenever an enemy receives a shield buff or is healed. I think this champion should have probably came out before the fusion, because I feel like this guy might actually help you for the event dungeon. That said, I'm going to start off with Ken first. What are we thinking about this free legendary champion? Are we looking to build her or him? I think it's him.
No, that's good.
Oh, okay. Haven't seen the artwork.
I mean, I didn't control it, but it looks like that. I don't know, like,
They can be whoever they want.
yeah, exactly. I don't mind. I mean, it looks DPS, and it's really hard to judge the DPS champion without knowing their multiplier. Like, Fusion champion multiplier is so bad. It's like a wet noodle, even you have a crazy stat on him. And it's another champion with attack enemy twice, which is the Demon Spawn champion. I'll say that, right? I normally load that attack enemy twice skill, you know, but again, depends on the multiplier. Could be nice on the faction more, that's good. Hard faction more, of course. Besides that, I'm not sure about Arena, man. Like, attack DPS champion, like, I'm not big fan of them. Because they are most likely like spit. You need to be spit team for that. But yeah, I'm not super, how to say that, like, disappointed about the new free legendary champion. First of all, it's a free. We take it, you know. And it doesn't seem terrible to me.
I think she's the one that has Ninja's other wing. I don't know if you
Ah,
Just about to say that.
actually. Yeah, good
I think
pitch.
she's the one that has Ninja's other wing because she's got the left, he's got the right.
They go wing shopping once a year together.
If only she was as good as Ninja.
Right. I was like, that looks weird. That said, I think you're right. I mean, multipliers are going to make a big difference. She definitely seems DPS based, but I just feel like it's the whole if, ands, or buts about it that I really am not a fan of. Chat, let me ask you guys, will you see yourself booking this champion and building them? Granted, from what I read on the skill kit, she does not need the accuracy to be able to make any of the if, ands, or buts happen. So that's, I guess, a good thing. King Copium, what are we thinking?
Free is free, and I'm definitely down for it. Hot take, but I am excited to get this champion, but that's more just the mid-game perspective. 4 snookers are pretty rare. I mean, I have Candy, but he's definitely been crept. I'm excited to see what she can do. It'll be nice to see when the multipliers come out. I'm not just going to all in invest in her when I get her, but I mean, people thought that some of these free champions that were coming out were going to be a lot worse than they actually turned out to be. So Copium, I think that it'll be nice to see what she can do, and hopefully she'll be better than the Fusion champ.
Okay. I don't know if she's going to be better than the Fusion champ. I wouldn't go that far. I just feel like she probably would help us in this event dungeon, though. Zero.
All right, I'm going to show my age. Yeah, keep the video going there. You ready? Guess who's going to get this. Dun, 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 dun. Flash! Oh! Come on, does that not give you the Flash Gordon movie vibes the way this champion looks? Come on.
The helmet does.
The helmet, the weapons, the wings, the flying spear sword thingies. Come on. All right, I just showed my age. Come on. All right. Other than that, I think the champion looks cool. And I had to, King Copium says it 100%, right? Free is free. You can't complain about that, right? I think for most people that aren't, or that are probably late mid game and beyond, probably won't have use for this champion. We'll see. Oh yeah, there you go. Oh yeah.
I think kind of Hot Girl 2.0. Just saying.
Yeah, Hot Girl. Yeah.
Except she could actually fly with both wings as opposed to this one will just kind of like glide if I can get through it.
Always go with left.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, you got to wait and see the multipliers, but free is free. Can't complain. I think she looks awesome, which is pretty cool.
She does. Visually, Plarium always hits it out of the park. Skills, sometimes not the best. PJ, what about yourself, man? What are we thinking?
Yeah. free is free, so we'll get that out the way. Unless the multipliers are crazy, I'm not too big of a fan of her personally. Definitely don't see bulking her. Could be good for early mid game progress. Maybe for if you're for hard fashion wars, maybe for late game end game. But yeah, I don't really like her kit too much, unless again a specific for like hard fashion wars. She's all right. Not really too big of a
Octua
fan.
girl 2.0. Sorry. Octua. Sorry. That's a good one, Sniper.
Gessel, what are we thinking, man?
Yeah, I guess obviously multipliers, right? For any damage dealers, so we'll have to kind of wait and see on that. The biggest problem with, and speaking of what PJ said with Faction Wars, is Sylvan Watchers is like all support champs. You have Alil, who's a Void Lego, right? And then you got Dottie, who's amazing, but it's an epic, and survivability becomes an issue and everything else. So they don't have a lot of damage. This could be nice to help out a little bit there. You do need damage dealers to get through at least the bosses with the turn counts. So hopefully it'll help there, because like look at those Legos, man. I mean, they're all freaking support champs. It's ridiculous. So
Pretty good for Amius too, heal reduction.
That is true.
and that's when I saw the heal reduction. That's actually the first thing I thought about. So
I feel like Croadan is very underrated as a damage dealer. Like a lot of people just kind of shun him, and he's honestly, I built him, and I'm not disappointed with him. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, but freeze is like a damage reduction, so
that's
except
true.
for like, so
But
like the few champs that can kind of deal with that, you know, they can hit through it or deal normal damage into it. That it just becomes an issue because you're reducing damage. But I just love the CC from free champ. Or I've actually never built them for damage. I've only built them for CC.
I've built them for damage for Centranos with like 350 accuracy, and I mean, yeah, I'm not regretting it at all.
That's cool. Yeah, like
Gargo.
That's a cool champion.
Miss Rider Dithey, definitely the MVP of the faction. I think you're right on that one.
Yeah, for sure. It's an epic, man. Like, what the hell?
Well, all the epics,
Dude, I love
her
putting that
and
dude in
the
Relentless, man, he snipes.
yeah, the other one too. What's her face?
Well,
No, the other epic archer chick, Ruella. Yeah, you said it, Ruella. Yeah,
Ruella.
this chick's good too.
Yeah,
well,
she's not bad. I haven't built her yet, but I saw some of the videos and she's not bad. So, back to the free champion that we're gonna get. Let me try to find my screen. I can't find it. I don't feel like we're gonna be looking at something crazy with her. I feel like she's okay. Faction Wars, maybe. To be quite honest, I feel like Miss Rider Dithey and Croadan will probably be my first pick over her, especially because it just doesn't feel like she's bringing enough nuke, right? If you have a fully empowered +4 Miss Rider Dithey, you're going to get a lot more benefit out of him than you would with her, especially because of the kit that he has, right? The increased accuracy, increased attack, decreased defense, and then the amount of turns that he can take with the A1 is just astronomical. Basically building a relentless set. So speaking about the event dungeon though, because she ignores so much resistance and is, we know that the resistance check for the event dungeon is pretty high. I think one of you guys said off screen that we were looking at almost 600 for the ads. That's kind of insane. Do you guys envision her being an MVP for the event dungeon itself? Ken.
What do you mean?
Like, do you see her actually like being the way that the way to beat the event dungeon? Do you think she's going to be the one that makes it? No. Okay.
Stage 30, I guess you're talking no.
Anywhere, right? Because I'm when I was asking chat earlier where there are some people who suck at 20, 25, very few are at stage 30.
I mean, if she hit harder than Sigfront, sure.
She hits harder than Siegfried. Okay. Um, if she hits harder than Siegfried, I think Pleria might go back and just do a quick nerf. King Copium, what are we thinking? Do you think she's actually going to be really useful for the event dungeon?
Well, I mean, I think Gestalt said it best that we just haven't thought of it yet. Maybe she's the missing piece, you know? But no, in all seriousness, I don't think that she'll be a solution to anything past maybe 20 on farm, but for like stage 30, no shot.
Okay. Zero, what about yourself?
Well, even if she was, they're not going to give us to her for like a week before the event dungeon ends. So that
no.
again.
So the coalition event will end first, and then we actually get her as a login. So we'll probably have, I think, like 2 weeks.
Next month.
Yeah, but you have to book her, you have to level her up, you have to maybe wait for a blessing because again, we talked about needing a 5 or 6 star blessing to be able to use her, assuming we get a blessing out of this. So by the time she's usable, you get her for like a week.
We are getting I believe it's a 5-star blessing for her.
Okay.
The same way that they do
I'm just
the
saying,
chase.
by the time you go through the whole process and get the blessing and all that stuff for a 2-month-old event, you get her even if it's for 2 weeks. So for 6 weeks you don't have her, and she's gonna be the missing link. Again, does player even play their game?
Okay. PJ, what about yourself?
Yeah, if she one-shots the boss, she'll be great.
She one-shots the boss, everybody's
Yeah, easy.
realistic goals, guys.
Yeah, you know, nothing too insane. But no, I don't think so. The big issue is if like you're gonna be using her for the support side of her, she's an attack base, so she's gonna be super squishy. It's gonna be hard to keep her alive. And then if you're using her for the damage, she has to have good multipliers, but yeah, no, I don't really see it.
Okay. I like how the A2 is intercept the threat. I don't really see any sort of anything that will shut down the opponent, but Gestel, what about you?
Intercept the buff that we have?
Maybe. Gestel, what do you think? Is she going to be good for the event dungeon or no?
I mean, if you keep Witherer up, healing it does become a major problem. If you do have anyone with a continuous heal, who was I trying that was bringing that? I was trying Arbus and swapping her to the second form. She brings continuous heals there. Those get stolen, bro. She like heals all the way up off a continuous heal. So but I guess that could be good. Block buffs is always a good thing. But attack champs into this, like they're just like paper, man. They get shredded as soon as she swaps. So I have a feeling that's not gonna be super helpful.
Okay. Definitely doesn't have any survivability in her skill kit, so doesn't really make me want to think that, you know, I would invest in trying to get her to do anything. That said, the heal reduction is strong against Withered, like you said. Overall, I'm going to go ahead and say a 2, I think is fair to say. Prior to seeing the multipliers, maybe I'll change my mind after the multipliers, but I think a 2 out of 5 is pretty fair. Ken, where would you grade her on a 1 to 5 scale, not knowing her multipliers?
Just for the faction war, like 4.
4 just for the faction wars?
Yeah, rest of the content, let's say 3.
Okay. Big shout out to Mr. Bronco over here who joined us on the YouTube side. If you guys aren't following, make sure you are following him. And I just want to say, welcome to Gallifrey, sir. Thank you for joining us. King Copium, what are you thinking, man? 1 to 5, what would you rate this champ, not knowing the multipliers?
Well, the account that I do foresee using her on is the account. I don't have Sylvan Watchers done, but I have Lydia already unlocked. So I do think she'll help me out in Faction Wars and then proceed into Hard. So I'm probably going to give her a 4 as well.
Okay. And that's just for Faction Wars or overall?
Overall, I'd probably give her probably a 3, just because I think she's mid.
Okay. I guess I might just be being a little too harsh, but Goose, will you back me up? Will you be my wingman?
2.5. I'll come close to you.
Goose died.
Yeah. I mean, she's already got
Jax.
one of her wings burned off.
Spoilers.
Yeah, Goose. Yeah, spoiler alerts. She's already got one wing burnt off. She's playing her best Icarus impressions, flying too close to the sun. Can't get her done. Loses a wing, goes down, just like Goose did in the movie. Lost one engine and went down. That flat spin, baby.
Okay. PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I think you guys are hitting it on the head. I'd say like a 2.5 to 3. Probably the earlier game you are, probably the little bit better she would be for you. If you're late end game, I feel like she'd be super niche, very specific areas of the game. But when you're a late game player, you need those very specific niche champions to help you beat those areas. So could come in clutch, like you guys said. Damage dealers in that area are not the best, but if you have a +4 Dothy, or if you have a Awaken Dothy, you're probably going to be choosing him over her.
Agreed. Gessel, what about yourself?
I think you started with me.
Did I start with you? I thought I started with Ken.
Oh, we just want a number?
Just a number.
Oh, yeah, I like the 2.5. I think
Okay.
that works.
All right. Fair enough. So we'll get a better grasp when we get her for free in a couple of weeks, and we'll judge her skill kit then when we get to playtest her. Before we end today's podcast, I do want to talk about the hard mode faction wars. And, you know, we've touched on it every little bit throughout the weeks that we've had. Now, I will say this week, I probably slacked on it a little more than I usually have. I missed the Orgrin tribe a couple of days ago, which I guess I'll be going back into it, but I found it very annoying and not challenging, but I found it very annoying, I will say, where am I going here? There we go. For the Orgrin tribe, having to place the provoke 15 times on stage 9, where the champion was just so limited, and it was Prandar, and I was almost tempted to build another one. I'm annoyed, not more at the having to build more champions. I'm annoyed more of it's so tedious. It's like we're looking to complete a really minuscule task, and there's nothing challenging about it, right? So, like, for instance, this High Elves one that we had, where you had to get, I think it was stage 10. You had to allow, or no, stage 12, I'm sorry. You had to allow no buffs on the champs. And they put a stupid Ruella in there, and Ruella's passive kept triggering all the time along with Elva's. So if you didn't have a block debuffs, you were pretty much SOL'd. That said, have you been finding any challenges throughout this week that have kind of held you back from your progression on hard mode faction wars? Ken?
Like I mentioned earlier, my biggest challenge was today, actually, on the, I think, Bannerlord. This is the one condition we got first time. Do not receive more than 10 debuff, and they literally place every single debuffer on the waves. There's a Ukko, he's A1. Like, even you provoke him. Let's say you provoke him. He's gonna A1 you, and his A1 has a chance of to place a decrease attack on you. They put a Supreme Galek on the run too.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he just attacked me one time, boom, I got a 6-9 debuff. It's over already, like, just one attack. If you fail to kill him, or if you let him to attack you just one more time, just one time, I mean, he using his skill, he's casting more than 10 debuff, so it's pretty much, that was annoying. Boss was very annoying on the Bannerlord again, because it is the one casting reflect damage buff. So boss literally have a reflect damage. Like, you need to kill the boss, right? He have a reflect damage. Like, I don't know who designed them, but they are definitely toxic. Garlic. Cheaters.
Toxic garlic.
And man, it was so tough. And the dwarf, they put the dwarf unity champion on the run 3. Like, if you don't have a buff strip champion, what you gonna do? Like, what you gonna do? Like, that was very annoying. And again,
Ghostbusters.
yeah,
I was gonna say bad boys. Call the bad boys.
And we just talking about stage 15. Dude, there is going to be stage 21. I don't know what we are going to do there. Like, seriously,
Yep.
don't know.
I mean, hey, here's something right here. Places a block debuffs and a 60% on one single ally, I guess. But I mean, if you have Kaja, you're pretty much, because that's what I used. I used Kaja.
Kaja is only one turn, man. One turn block debuff. For a
That's
legendary,
tr-
that's come on,
That's
man.
true. But you're gonna have to make sure that you're kind of holding him back and CCing him. I mean, Sathalia does have a 2-turn, and then they did buff Manaya, and she's got, I think it's a 2-turn as well too, right? Heals all allies and places block debuffs for 2 turns. So maybe something to think about, right? We do use her in hard mode Amius, so
I don't have her, so
you don't have her. Maybe 15x coming up just for Final Compaggi or
Oh, yeah.
guaranteed.
no, thank you.
Now, King, I'm not sure how far you are into hard mode faction wars, but what have you been having for challenges this week?
I'm really not too far in at all. I mean, I do go in and make attempts, but I'm just farming my glyphs on normal faction wars right now, trying to keep up, with that, so I can continue to build up the strength to get in there hopefully soon.
Okay. Let's go to PJ next.
Yeah, it's definitely some challenges. I feel like one really nice addition they could add would be kind of like what they have with Hydra and Chimera is like at the end of the battle, you click if you want to keep the run or not. Because I failed to run because like Elva's passive procced and I killed the waves and she got like a buff up and sorry, like, and that happened to me with the boss too. I didn't pause it in time. The counterattack went off, and I killed the boss and killed one of myself. And it'd be nice if you could hit like decline, retry. Yeah, one of my biggest issues we mentioned earlier is silver. I'm running out of silver. I'm swapping my gear to beat these stages, and I'm just blowing through my silver really quickly. It's tough. This is only level 15. I mean, we're barely like halfway there, and it's scary. I mean, they're adding mythicals. The stats are gonna be boosted up.
I can't wait till we see the
so-
Sigfrind in the waves.
Yeah,
That's gonna be
it's tough.
scary.
This is my first time missing a few stars this week, and I kind of came to reality like a couple of days, like a week ago. I was looking at the stages and I was looking at my void champions for the no weak hits, and like I'm assuming they want us to go all voids, and I just don't realistically have the champions for some of that to do. So I knew I was gonna fail coming up, but yeah, it's getting tough.
At least I didn't put one where it says you have to use all rares or something like that, because that would be absolutely. Ugh. I mean, even putting in the 3
Five
epics.
alive.
Yeah, even putting in the 3 epics is still a little challenging, because you're just like, well, this doesn't do that much other than, Sylvan Watches. I was like, yeah, let's go. Double misreaded Dythes. Go ahead.
Sorry, another thing. I was kind of get to like I think the root of your, or one of the things you talked about in the question was, are you having fun or not? It's tough because these challenges are kind of like, it's a one and done thing. Faction Wars is like, once you beat one of the stages and you 3-star, like you're never going to go back to that. You're going to be farming the higher up stages. So it's kind of like a weird game design where it's tough for a little bit, but then you're done with it. You'll never go back to it.
Right. It's not like Centranos where I need to keep those champions built and use it. And that was probably one of my biggest complaints about this is once I get to stage, 21, I'm done. I'll throw my double Taurus Marichka into my Bannerlords team, let it go. I don't care if it takes 300 turns. I'll be done and over with. There's no incentive to maybe run a different stage, or, I think it would be, and we could, talk about this a little bit more next time, but I think it'd be a lot more fun if it was something that we could come back in and say, okay, well, this week, stage 19 will give you extra crafting material for relics,
That'd be
or
sick.
you could get something like that. That way, if you 3-star it again, you have some sort of reason to keep these champions built and actually keep doing that stage, rather than just, you know what, it's farmed, it's done, it's over with, see you later, I'm moving on. That said, PJ, sorry, did you have anything else?
No, that was it.
All right. And Gessel, what about you?
Yeah, man, I've been honestly focusing more on this than I have been Live Arena. I feel like this mythical champ is really strong, especially for comps I kind of like to run with like Torment and Gizmac. If you bring her in, like it becomes like a ridiculous counter to like speed comps and stuff. So I really would like to get her. So I haven't missed a star yet. Like, I've been at reset. That's what I work on. Let's knock them out. Let me make sure I get it. I go very meticulously through it to make sure I don't fail it. As to like some of the stories you guys have just said. So I don't know. I guess I'm having fun with it basically because what PJ just said. It's not so much like Curse City where you got to go do S19 with or whatever floor it is where you got to do the stupid stun set on a bunch of epics and hope for RNG. You don't have to do that every time you fight it. You do it once, you get it done, you move on. I kind of like that. I like that way better. And then I also like the shiny at the end. Although I actually am loving Carnage more and more. But yeah, I got a thing for this champ, man. I think she's gonna be really good.
Okay. We haven't done a breakdown on her yet, and maybe we will when we get closer to it. But you know, like I said, I just think it's annoying that it's like Prendar is the only champion that will place a provoke on your Organ Tribe. You don't have a really solid reviver for Organ Tribe other than Gear Grinder, which is a rare.
I haven't run him.
Provoke
you
set with
know?
RNG, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
you can use
it-
provoke set, but you're starting to eat through your silver.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then last but not least, let's talk a little bit about Live Arena
Oh, you
Season
skipped me.
3.
I'm gonna
Oh,
get you.
sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Go-
you're good.
I
you're
thought I
good.
got you.
Now go back to the Ogden one again that you had pulled up where you saying
Okay.
you have issues. At least with the one that you had on that, you can at least put different champions in a provoke set. Again, silver aside and swapping gear left and right or whatever. But the one that really irked me was the bomb Ogden one, where the only one that I had was War Mother. And it's like, God, are you really gonna make me build a War Mother in Booker to be able to kill people with bombs? Like that one really annoyed me. I don't know, Gessel, have you done that? I'm sure you've done that one, yeah.
Yeah, I actually had 2 War Mothers at 60. I see. The thing is with me building it, like I've built every champ I have because of stupid champ training events. So
Yeah.
it's finally paying off. I have all these epics and like all these random Legos at level 60, and all I got to do is throw gear on them then.
Yeah, so I think my biggest beef with that is at least with the stuns, the provokes, the poisons, even like a lot of that stuff you can get by with gear. Where the bomb thing, there's no bomb gear, right? So if for the people that don't have War Mother, you're just not doing. I mean, I don't know. Are there any other people? Oh, so Grunch can do it. So you have
Crunch
bombs.
Killjoy. Yeah, you get Magma.
Yeah,
Bomb.
what's his-
and
what skill?
Calca.
It's really tough. You have to get them to
Yeah.
die to the bombs too. That's like the
Yeah,
hardest
That's-
part.
Calca's
die,
actually
and it's like
pretty good.
10 of them too.
Yeah.
Again, because I think Demon Lord has the same one, but like with Demon Lord, at least you got the Soul Drinkers, but you also have like King, what's his name?
Shazar.
Yeah,
Lord
Shazar or whatever.
Shazar, yeah.
Shazar, Lord Shazar, yeah. So you can kind of coordinate that and get a little bit easier, but I don't know with these champions. I mean, I guess I got to build out Grunge Killjoy. I guess it's a little bit easier to book.
I
Placing the
think
bombs
Calca's
would be better.
Yeah.
If it's placing the
Calca?
bombs versus killing them would be
Yeah, if
better.
it's placing them, yeah,
at
like
least
stun and
take
provoke.
damage,
Yeah.
or at least
Or
take
detonate
damage from
them.
bugs. Yeah,
Or
I
guess-
think that would
Yeah,
have been
or
better.
detonate bombs. Yeah, we don't have to get the kill. Yeah, because that's the
Right.
other thing is A, you got to have a champion that can land it. B, you have to soften up the targets enough or build out the super, 10,000 attack situation and all that. So that one's a lot harder, and I think it's way too limited where you can't even use gear at all. So that's my biggest beef with that one.
Well, like Yoda says, patience is padded one. All right, so before again we go, let's touch up on the Live Arena seasons. They made some changes into the points that you win and lose. And the biggest thing I've been getting a complaint about is people are slacking on going in for their Live Arena, thinking that they're going to get the advantage and lose less points going up against players that are higher rank. Honestly, I just haven't had the freaking time to do it. because I would really love to just get in, get out, get my 1,300 points, and that's it. What have your thoughts been about the current point situation? Are you yay, nay, Ken?
Nay.
Nay.
I mean, it's so stupid. Like, okay, so if there is a difference between the points, right? And if you won, you are getting 1 point. But if you lose, you are losing more points, right? Why it's not like positive effect as well? Like, if I won someone higher than me, I'm getting 9 points. Before the changes, I'm getting 9 points. If he won against me, he's getting less point, which is okay. But if I won against him, I should be getting more than 9 points. 9 should be base.
Points.
Like 9 should be base, okay? If you want higher, you should be get more than that. If you want against the lower, you should be get lower than that. But it's not work. It's only working on the one side. So if you want someone above you, my bad, under you, you are getting like 9. Wait.
So it's the point difference is
1 point. 1 point.
Yeah.
You are getting 1 point. Yeah. If you lose, you are losing more point. It's only like punish you, literally. And the people are not wrong if they are selecting that, to be honest. Like, it's totally understandable.
Okay. Just
It's
to
a
give it
bad
a
design.
just to give it a quick breakdown. So if you lose between 0 to 100, if there's the gap that they're higher than you, you lose 3 points. If it's between 100 to 300, you lose 2 points. And then if it's 300 or more, you only lose 1 point. I agree with Ken. I think that it should be higher because the points difference between if, Ken's at 1,000, I'm at, 1, my fresh fight, he's only going to gain 1 point, and then the gap closes down to 50. So if you're getting somebody, like if I just queued up right now, which we'll see. So with this guy right here, I would get a full 9 points if I won. So, King, what about you?
For me, I am slowly pushing my way to gold right now, so I'm not really the best authority on the situation for as far as seasonal goes, but my personal opinion on it is if you win, you should win, and you should have no point decrease because you won. I think that it's okay to make some sort of a cushion for if you lose, because we're all just trying to reach those rewards yet again. But I think that punishing people who do the content, build their champions, and have better comp strats and all that, then it's taking away any type of, I guess for lack of a better word, would be dopamine out of doing live arena, because why am I going to go in here and use my gems on refills to get, a couple of points when I should be collecting max? Because if you win, you win.
Right. Okay. Goose, what about you?
This season, just give kudos to Plarium for at least attempting to change something. I don't know if this is the right change per se. I really haven't noticed a difference yet. I haven't gone up against, the top 10 like I have the first 2 seasons. But again, yeah, like I like at least Ken can beat him. I'm gonna be guaranteed a loss. So I guess maybe it makes it a little bit easier to get to the end. I guess with my crappy win-loss ratio at like 54% or 52% or whatever it is, I'll know more at the end of the season if I get to the 1320 faster. So yeah, we'll see. To be determined.
Okay.
But at least they're trying something, right? So
the biggest complaint I think people have told me is that it's going to make it more challenging to hit that 1320, PJ, what about you?
Yeah, I've been slacking in LA right now. Get into it more. But again, it's a classic Plarium, great idea, implementing it not that well. If the whole idea of this was to make it harder for like the Krakens and whales, like the cryptos and stuff, to have lower points, that is dog shit. Who cares about the 1%? Like, we need to focus on the whole game. Like, the Krakens are going to crack regardless. They're going to be top 3 either way. If it's a bad point system or a good point system, like it's not going to like impact them that much. Where it's going to impact the huge player base or the entire player base way more. Yeah, I've heard people are saying it's going to be a lot harder to get to 1300. They need to work on the more points for wins versus like they screwed if you lose. But like Ken said, the winning only 9. It's got to be more than that. And yeah, if this was to change the like 1% leaderboard, I think that was terrible.
Okay. Gestel, what about you?
Yeah, like I said, I've actually been focusing more on Faction Wars. I'm probably only at like 350, 400 points right now in Live Arena. So I haven't pushed too hard. So I haven't really witnessed it one way or the other. I've been kind of just fighting people at my rank, which is fine. But I think pretty much what everyone else has said. It's the right idea in terms of making a change. I agree with Copium. There's really no reason why they should affect your win amount. If you are the Kraken or the higher number, I think it should really just affect the person that got, who terribly got linked up with them. Let that loss be significantly less. Let it not hurt as much. And let's just move on. Like that, how many times does that happen? Like, of course you always remember, oh man, I fought the number 2 guy, right? Like, yeah, you got matched up with him because that dude's fighting 300 times a day. That's why he's gonna get matched up with everybody. But you're probably gonna see him once, and then you move on with your life. So if they just kind of took the sting out of that, I think everyone would be fine.
So maybe limiting the amount of fights that would count would actually probably solve that. So
well, that's where I'd like to really go with this. Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see what changes they make. Listen, I will just say the fact that they're making changes, they're listening, and they're putting things in place, even though we may not agree with them. I think it's still good because it at least gives me hope that they're listening, right? That said, what?
Said they're trying, man.
They're trying. Okay.
Can I
I
ask
thought
one
you
more
said I
question
was
for you?
lying. Go ahead.
That's funny. Yeah. So on the coalition event, can y'all confirm that the gear collector, the 1 hour little token they give us around the 3,000 point one, does that immediately get activated, or does that go to your inbox? Does anybody know?
I believe everything goes to your inbox.
Okay. I guess we'll test it now.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
I just pulled mine. I'm going to test it.
There it
About
goes.
Yeah, it went to the
6
inbox.
days.
Okay.
It did
Yeah,
go to the
it goes-
inbox, but you're right. It only lasts 6 days. So that's
What's
kinda
the
creepy.
expiration timer on it?
6 days.
6
Got
days.
you.
So you'll have to use it
poopy.
sooner rather than later. All right. So let's see some shout outs here. And first I want to start off with Ken. Ken, where can people come and find you, and what do you have for a shout out for me?
Finally Kenpachi, both YouTube and the Twitch. I'm streaming every single day, guys, at the Columbus Reset. Thank you so much. And my shout out is going to be Buggy Games. Buggy Games on the YouTube, guys. He's also the content creator friend. Make sure to check him out. I'm going to post his YouTube channel over there. Make sure to support him, sub him. Awesome.
Awesome. King Copium, where can people come and find you, and what do you have for a shout out for me, bro?
Yeah, so first and foremost, just thanks to the Knights for having me back on. It was awesome. Had a great time. I've got 1.5 shout outs. So the streamer I'm going to shout out is going to be Proper Caliber. Super awesome dude. He took a break. He recently came back. He's been playing the game forever. He's a multi-accounter just like me. He helped me beat Amius for the first time. Ton of love to that guy. And then the half shout out's going to be, if any of you guys are looking for a clan, please look at the Iron Kings. We are newly formed. We are going for wins in everywhere. The only clan boss we're not taking down right now is Ultra Nightmare Chimera. So come check us out.
Okay.
And I'm on Twitch as soon as this goes off.
Awesome. Goose, what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
Yeah, it's got to be Bronco Raid Shadow Legends. There's his YouTube. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, this dude has been the one to crack the thing first, I feel like. in the community. Now, granted, he had access to the test server, but what people don't understand is that's great, and you get the free resources to monkey around. But he took the time it took to be able to test all this stuff out and just get something out to the community, right? So open up the thought of using your roast with the golden elixir and or Blizzard with the golden elixir, whatever, Geomancer, some other things like that. But Bronco Raids spent a lot of time, energy, and effort, and then put the videos out for the community. So he absolutely deserves it. He's the MVP this week for the community.
Awesome. PJ, what about you? When people come and find you, and what you got for a shout out for me, bro?
MXPJE on Twitch and YouTube. We do 5 videos a week on YouTube. We stream pretty much every single weekday on the Twitches. And then for the shout out, we'll be shouting out Layla Fox Nation. She's awesome, one of the OG streamers in the community. She does YouTube, chart polls. If you like lore, she's all about the lore, does cosplays. Really chill, good vibes over there. So definitely go check her out.
Awesome. And she also loves camels, if you didn't know that. Gestel, where can people come and find you, and what you got for a shout out for me?
Gestel Gaming on Twitch and on YouTube, and I'm gonna shout out my man Bone Plays TV. He's been streaming a lot recently. Awesome dude. But he was the man that won the most recent Hell Hades challenge. Just eked out Bront there for first place on the CC side. So yeah, go over there, follow him. Bone Plays TV. Awesome dude.
Awesome. And my shout out's actually going to go to Mr. Final Compachi here, because this week we had a little bit of a competition between the two of us on who could pull the most mythicals out of 350 primals.
Holy.
I ended up pulling 9 mythicals in total and 1 G-Nut. But Ken took it like a champ, pulled 3, but he did pull 2 that he didn't have, right? Because he pulled
exactly harder than 9 mythical.
I listen though. I think I win because I pulled the Galathier. I think I win because I pulled the Galathier. If we're just going quality wise.
But if you didn't pull them, I will pull them. Okay, like this is how does that work. I'm pulling the mythical, you didn't pull, so I'm filling the slot, empty slot.
But we do want to give a big shout out to both Will and Being Useless for letting us do that. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And it was just exciting. Like the dopamine hit was great. That said, guys, we are going to raid out to Mr. Tham. When you guys get there, make sure you wish him a happy birthday and ask him how his nuking Duchess is going. We will see you guys all next week. We hope that Plarium does some changes for the event dungeon, making it maybe a little bit easier for us to farm, or at least giving us some sort of a good team. If not, we'll be checking out towards some of those other content creators or the big brains of the community that are making this a little easier for us. As always, guys, much love, much appreciation. Be safe, be well, be good to each other. We'll catch you guys next time.